Hare Krishna everyone, and welcome back once again to our ongoing lecture series entitled The Glories of Our Beloved Sri Vrindavan Dham. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pastrita Deshatarine. All glories to our beloved Srila Prabhupada. So, we're continuing with our mini-series on Stimulation for Ecstatic Love, and this will be part 189, in which we continue with our present theme of the glories of Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani. And today we'll continue with our discussion on her lotus face. And we'll begin with two very beautiful verses. The first is from Vrindavan Mahimamrita by Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati. He writes so beautifully, "May my heart, overcome with the sweetness of ecstatic love, become plunged in the eternally increasing ocean of sweetness that moves over Srimati Radharani's beautiful, youthful, transcendental form. The very sweet moonlight of her face, with its shy smiles and crooked sidelong glances, her wonderful words, graceful motions, and all her very sweet transcendental pastimes." And the second is from Govinda Lilamrita. "The two chakori birds of beautiful Radharani's eyes are now engaged in continually drinking the nectarian moonlight of Lord Krishna's smiles. The two thirsty bumblebees of Lord Krishna's eyes have now landed on the lotus flower of Srimati Radharani's face." I like that part. The two thirsty bumblebees of Lord Krishna's eyes have now landed on the lotus flower of Srimati Radharani's face. Now, dear Prabhus, in my research, I have been reading over and over again how the lotus face of Srimati Radharani is the very life and soul of the residents in Vrindavan. And in this regard, the poet Vitala Vipula wrote a very beautiful poem about her face. Now, Vitala Vipula was a very revered 16th century Brajbasi saint, and he was famous as the most foremost disciple of Swami Haridas. Born in Rajpur, Vrindavan in 1532, he's very much celebrated for his devotional poetry, glorifying the divine couple. His compositions continue to be sung in the Banki Bihari and the Radha Vallabha temples in Vrindavan. And his best known collection of poems is the Vitala Vipula Jiki Vani. Vitala Vipula Jiki Vani. So he wrote, also very beautifully, "Sri Radha's face is golden like the first gentle rays of the rising sun. It shines like molten gold. It is as sweet as golden honey dripping from a honeycomb. Its brilliance surpasses the beauty of thousands of moons shining together. Her effulgent face is the shelter and savior of all fallen souls. Vitala Das prays, may the beautiful face of Sri Radha always remain reflected within our eyes." Wow, reflected in our eyes. Now, the poet Madhava Das, in his book Sara Artha Pradipika, explains how Sri Radha's lotus face changes color according to her different moods. Wow, changes color according to her different moods. And Madhava Das, I found out he was a renowned Brajbasi poet of the early 1600s. His devotional songs are also still sung in many of the temples of Vrindavan today. And a number of the pastimes he lovingly composed continue to be performed in the traditional natakas, or theatrical dramas enacted by the Brajabasis. Some scholars identify him with the Nimbarka Sampradaya, while others regard him as belonging to our Gaudiya tradition, citing verses in which he expresses deep reverence for Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So in his Sara Artha Pradipika, he writes as follows. When Sri Radha feels shy, her face becomes rosy red like a freshly blossomed rose. When she hears someone speak about her love for Krishna, her face blushes a delicate pink, like a lotus blooming up from the mud. When she eagerly longs to meet Krishna, her face glows deep red, like ripe bimbo fruit. In separation from Krishna, her face becomes pale golden yellow, like the gentle winter sun. When overwhelmed by the pain of separation, her face grows dark, like the moon hidden during an eclipse. I love that one. When overwhelmed by the pain of separation, her face grows dark, like the moon hidden during an eclipse. In loving anger, man, her face becomes red and white, like tiny gunja berries. When she is reunited with Krishna, her face takes on soft shades of blue and green, like a blue lotus floating upon the Jamuna River. While performing worship or attending social gatherings, her face becomes pure white, like a graceful swan. And when she gazes upon Krishna from very close, her complexion becomes so much like his, she is affectionately called Shama. Affectionately called Shama. Wow. Now, Surdas also gives us a delightful exchange between Radha and Krishna. He writes, holding a mirror in his hand, Krishna teasingly asks, "O beautiful Radhe, tell me honestly, whose face is more beautiful, yours or mine?" Sri Radha gently replies, "My Lord, in this mirror it is only your limitless beauty that shines. My face may resemble the full moon, but yours is like the deep, enchanting night that surrounds it. Your eyes are decorated with dark kajal, while my eyes are beautified only by your dark, captivating glance. You carry Govardhan Hill upon your little finger, while I carry you forever within my heart. Your face is like a shower of blissful rain, and mine is merely the lightning dancing within those clouds. You are the beloved son of Maharaj Nanda, and I am simply your humble maidservant." Hare Krishna. Now for a nectar-filled pastime. This unique pastime is described by Vidyapati. As we know, he was one of the favorite poets of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. When Mahaprabhu was in Puri, his devotees were reading to him the poetry of Vidyapati and Chandidas. And most of Vidyapati's poetry was written in the ancient language of Awadhi, which is closely related to Sanskrit and resembling early Hindi. His devotional songs became some of the earliest, could you say, masterpieces of Vaishnava poetry in the common language of the people, paving the way later for Bengali, Brajabuli, and Brajbhasa literature. And again, along with Chandidas, Vidyapati is honored as one of the great pioneers of devotional poetry, centered upon the loving pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Great devotee. And this pastime that he wrote is entitled "The Moon Hidden by Separation." And it takes place during the monsoon season. So, one day Srimati Radharani's Sakis approached Krishna. They pleaded, "O Krishna, the beautiful moon of Radha's face has now become eclipsed by the Rahu of separation from you. She spends restless nights unable to sleep. Her sandalwood bed burns like fire. Nectar tastes like poison. Soft flowers feel like sharp nails against her body. Only your blue, lotus-like face can save her life. O Krishna, please delay no longer. Come and embrace this delicate golden vine. Water her with your love so that she may continue to live. Sakis are pleading. Hearing these heartfelt words, Krishna immediately ran towards Radha's kunja. And when he arrived, the whole grove reflected Radha's sorrow. The flowers had withered. The ground was dry and dusty. The leaves yellow and brittle. The breeze itself had become hot. The entire kunja seemed like the very home of grief. The very home of grief. Yet, the moment Krishna stepped inside, his lotus feet breathed life back into everything. He gently approached Sri Radha and softly lifted her chin. Her lotus eyes, like overflowing pots of nectar, had become filled with the salty waters of endless tears. Her breathing was so faint that it resembled the gentle movement of a fish struggling in milk. Her beautiful face had become pale from the agony of separation. Perspiration alone adorned her face like delicate ornaments. But the very instant she realized that Lord Keshava had come, every trace of anxiety, sorrow, and grief immediately disappeared. The radiance of her face burst forth like the sun emerging after a heavy rainstorm, accompanied by Indra's rainbow. Her eyes sparkled like countless stars on the night of the full moon. Her graceful eyebrows beautified her face like rivers adorning the sides of majestic mountains. Her cheeks and chin once again became the dwelling place of joy, modesty, and loving happiness. Her lotus lips conquered the beauty of thousands of cupids. The rays of her face shone like a treasury filled with priceless jewels. Without the slightest cosmetic decoration, her beauty surpassed everything. Then Sri Radha and Mohan simply embraced one another. Hare Krishna. Then Vidyapati goes on. Vidyapati narrates this nectar-filled pastime, and the great king who heard it became immersed in divine bliss. Vidyapati narrates this nectar-filled pastime, and the great king who heard it became immersed in divine bliss. Hare Krishna. So, let us conclude today with a beautiful prayer, again composed by Sri Das, wherein Mother Yasoda speaks very lovingly to Sri Radha. O Radhe, your face is like the full moon. Why don't you cover it? O beautiful daughter of King Vrishabhanu, by revealing such beauty, you are causing distress to so many of nature's creatures. The deer become bewildered, though no hunter's arrow has struck them. Have you no compassion? The lotus flowers close in embarrassment, trapping the bees within them. The Kanchana birds and the Chakora birds also lament, unable to bear comparison to your beauty. Please hide the radiance of your face for just a moment, so that the moon may again once find some happiness. Sri Das concludes with a gentle smile. O lovely moon-faced Radha, why do you put the whole creation to shame? May that incomparable lotus face of Sri Radha forever remain within our hearts and before our eyes. Hare Krishna. Wow, such nectar. So yes, Radharani's lotus face. There's lots of descriptions of Radharani's face in Prabhupada's books and throughout our Goswami literature, so we'll continue our research and be back with you next Friday, continuously, on and on and on, with so much nectar. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Shri Radha Shama Sundar ki, Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani ki, the lotus face ki, Mayapur Dham ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Krishna Sankirtan Yagya ki, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Jai Jai Sri Sri Radhe Shan.